Welcome back to WhatGear Reviews, and today I'm doing a really special unboxing. Well, it's special to me because it's a company that I hold dear to my heart and I've never actually owned an Xperia product, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Xperia Z3 tablet. Now this is a 8-inch tablet, I believe, so it's a lot smaller than what we're used to with a regular size tablet. But I want to talk a little bit about Sony before I do any of the unboxing. So in recent times, Sony really have been struggling with their phones and their tablets and not really competing very well against some of the big players out there like Apple and Samsung. And I had a guy actually explain Sony to me like this. He said Sony's like the geeky kid at school who's trying his best to be cool but just doesn't ever manage to pull it off. And he really hit the nail on the head with that one, I think. But the thing is about those geeky kids at school, they normally go on to be very successful later in life, and they do this by sticking to what they do best, and that is what Sony should be doing. But I have to say, it kind of feels like they're really going down the line of making Me Too products instead of actually coming up with new stuff and doing stuff differently from the other brands. They're kind of just saying, right, you've got an 8-inch tablet, we're going to do an 8-inch tablet. You've got curved screen, we're going to do a curved screen. They really aren't stepping out of the box and looking at what they should be doing and what they used to do so well. I mean, there was a time when Apple were actually really struggling, and Steve Jobs held a press conference detailing how they were going to dig themselves out of this grave that they ended up in. And guess what? Look at Apple today. So he really knew what he was talking about. And I just want to cut to a few extracts from that speech that he made, which I think is really relevant to Sony today.
Marketing's about values. This is a very complicated world. It's a very noisy world. And we're not going to get a chance to get people to remember much about us. No company is. And so we have to be really clear on what we want them to know about us. Now, Apple, fortunately, is one of the half a dozen best brands in the whole world. Right up there with Nike, Disney, Coke, Sony. What we're trying to do is not something really highfalutin. We're trying to get back to the basics. We're trying to get back to the basics of great products, great marketing, and great distribution. But even a great brand needs investment and caring if it's going to retain its relevance and vitality. And the Apple brand has clearly suffered from neglect in this area in the last few years. And we need to bring it back. The dairy industry tried for 20 years to convince you that milk was good for you. It's a lie, but they tried anyway. And the sales were going like this. And then they tried Got Milk, and the sales have gone like this. Got Milk doesn't even talk about the product. Matter of fact, it focuses on the absence of the product. But the best example of all, and one of the greatest jobs of marketing in the universe has ever seen is Nike. Remember, Nike sells a commodity. They sell shoes. And yet, when you think of Nike, you feel something different than a shoe company. In their ads, as you know, they don't ever talk about the products. They don't ever tell you about their air soles and why they're better than Reebok's air soles. What does Nike do in their advertising? They honor great athletes, and they honor great athletics.
Sony would be very smart to look at what Steve Jobs did for Apple and try and find someone that could do that for them. They have made some horrible mistakes recently. I mean, even today I drove on my way to pick up this tablet and I saw a billboard, and on the billboard it had about 3 devices. I have no idea what devices they were. I think they were Z3s, and the tagline was "Demand Great." Now, demand great to me is like, I go to Subway for a sandwich, I demand a great sandwich. If I go to a car wash and pay them £12.50 to wash my car, I'm demanding great. I actually just expect great when I'm spending this kind of money. Not only is this £10 more than the Samsung Galaxy Tab and the iPad, I shouldn't have to demand anything. I should just know that this is probably the best tablet known to man. I mean, come on, that's just common sense. I really think Sony needs to step it up. They need to think differently about what they're doing and where they're spending their money and how they're advertising, because demand great Yeah, that's great. So with that said now, my little rant over with, let's get on to this and do the unboxing. Alright, let's start unboxing this. So there is no sticky plastic on this at all. There's no stickers even to keep the lid on, which I find quite surprising. Let's just take the lid off. There we go. Inside we have the tablet on top with some sticky plastic, and we can just lift that out now. So basically there's not much to it, it's just got a bit of plastic around it. I've gone for the black version of this. It's kind of stuck in there. There we go, so that's one bit of plastic off. It has another bit of plastic on the screen, which I'm just going to peel off now. And that's a sticky bit of plastic there. And that's it. I mean, that's the unboxing on this, and there's not really anything difficult about doing that. First impressions are, it looks quite nice. It's already got fingerprints on the back. That sort of matted finish is a problem when it comes to fingerprints, I think. But we'll see how well it handles over time. Can we turn it on? Does it have any power? Here we go. Powering up. So that's the tablet itself. Put that down for a minute. Just have a look what's underneath here. So underneath there we got the Xperia Lounge VIP leaflet. Will I be looking at that? Probably. If they're giving me any free stuff, I will be. We've got the startup guide. We've got important information, which who knows what that could be. We have SAR information and FCC statement. That's that. And then we've got two compartments. We've got the UK power style, UK power pins, same as the Samsungs. That's exactly the same as the Samsungs, just a bit more square. But yeah, that's that. And then cable, just loosely. This is what was rattling around inside the box. This wasn't fixed in anything. And I think it's a bit odd how they put this wire in this massive compartment and then they put this in this tiny compartment. It's a bit weird. I kind of felt like there must have been something else that was going to be in here. Maybe a pair of headphones, which they haven't put in the box, because this is rattling around on its own. But anyway, that's the unboxing on this product. Fairly easy to do. I wouldn't say it's as nicely done as the Apple or even the Samsung in that case, but that's largely down to that rattling around, which kind of made it feel a bit cheap in some ways. In terms of the box quality, pretty nice. It wasn't wrapped in cellophane, it didn't have any sticky tabs. The cellophane adds a new effect, which gives a little bit more of a premium feel. And that's really it. That's the tablet. I'm quite happy with it so far. Size looks really, really good. Let's move on. So that's it. That's the unboxing on this done. I have to say, first impressions, setting this up was a bit of a pain because it didn't have English. It had United States English. It had many different variations of English, but it didn't have United Kingdom English, which I think is a bit weird considering this is England. I mean, it feels really nice. The weight is really, really light. It feels pretty solid as well, I have to say. The screen doesn't feel quite as bright as the Samsung Galaxy S, but the size is fantastic. I mean, for me to use this one-handed is actually pretty easy. When I say one-handed, I mean just to hold it. Definitely feels nice out of the box. So I will be testing out the Sony PlayStation 4 remote play feature, which is exclusive to this product. So that's going to be exciting to see how well it handles that. And that's it. So join me again in about a week's time when I do the full review on the new Sony Xperia Z3 tablet.
We believe that people with passion can change the world for the better. And we believe that in this world. People can change it for the better. And that those people that are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that actually do.